of exposing the worldwide trafficking ring and the occult. I want to talk to you now about my trafficking, and I'm going to name names of the people who hurt me. This is not a concise, full list. There are other people on this list. There are other celebrities, politicians, well-known people that are on this list. I'm just making a list of a few of the people. There's people that I don't remember who hurt me because I was drugged. I know that I saw a lot of congressmen and senators there, but I'm not going to name any names that I don't know for sure. But I'm sure that because it happened to me, I'm sure it's happened to other people. I'm sure there's other victims out there. There were times when I was drugged, and I don't remember every single person that hurt me. There were times when the trauma was so bad that I didn't want to remember. But I remember most everything. And these names are people who sold me for sex, made money off of me, or raped me. Some of all the above. Some of these people are politicians. Some are celebrities. Some are musicians. Some are in the military. I was forced to be a presidential sex slave. And I'm going to share those testimonies. Like I said, there's other people that were on my list. I can't verbalize who all the military people were because I didn't recognize most of them. I don't know much about the military, but there were a lot of military people involved. There were dozens and dozens and dozens of millions of military people. Dozens of Pentagon employees there. I was trafficked by a lot of people in the National Guard, and the United States military, the Department of Defense. There were dozens of Congress people and congresswomen and senators who passed me along as a sex slave. I don't remember every single person's name off the top of my head because, like I said, I was drugged. Sometimes I didn't recognize them, but I knew that I recognized them, but I didn't know what their names were. I recognized them from the news, but I didn't know their names. So there's a lot of people that I'm not going to mention in this that did do stuff to me. And I just have to hope that law enforcement finds them and gets them. There's other victims out there that remember exactly who in the Senate and Congress hurt them because I don't remember every single person. I do recognize them, but my mind's traumatized and I'm not going to be able to verbalize some of the names at the moment. I did recognize them and then from the news, of course, but I can't tell you off the top of my head who all was involved, except for the ones that I have on this list. So this is really hard for me to share this, so just bear with me, please. The first night when I was trapped, one of the first nights when I was trafficked, this has happened to me several different times, by the way. This is not just a one-time only event. But one of the first night, the most recent time that I was trafficked for the first night, that's what I'll say. I'm going backwards, guys. I'm talking about my most recent experiences. I was kidnapped by the National Guard. I'm trying to get my notes up, guys. Just bear with me. The National Guard, there were 3 or 4 members of the National Guard. They chloroformed me, and they took me to a warehouse in Arlington, somewhere close to the Pentagon. Now, I'm not sure if this was a military installation or if it was an abandoned military installation or if it was a warehouse. I know that it was definitely something that seemed like a military installation, but it could have been a warehouse. I'm not really sure. It's one of those two things. That night, I was tied to a gurney, completely naked. I was passed along to 25 men and women, held at gunpoint by 4 armed National Guard members, tied down to a gurney, completely naked, raped, and assaulted by 25 people. That night, most of the people that raped me were military. There were a couple people that were senators. But again, these are the people that I do not remember the names of at the moment. I recognize them from television, but I can't tell you off the top of my head who they were. I was drugged. I was being held hostage at gunpoint, and I was drugged. And I don't remember every single person that hurt me that night, but I know that 25 different people passed me around for sex, and they raped me, and they assaulted me, and they molested me. And it was the worst night of my life. It really was. So found out later on that Eric, the person I talked about yesterday, who was one of the biggest people that tormented me my whole life, Eric Prince, that he was involved with the National Guard, of course, because he's military. Eric Prince and the National Guard were the ones that had me kidnapped. It's the second time that Eric's done something to me, but that's not what this video is about. This video is about the trafficking. I was eventually sold as a presidential sex slave. I was raped by Donald Trump. I was molested and raped by Joe Biden, and I was sold by Melania. Melania and Joe Biden trafficked me. They made money off of me. Donald Trump did not traffic me, but he did sexually assault me. Joe Biden and Melania, there's videos of all three, Donald, Joe Biden, and Melania raping and molesting me along with other victims. I was not the only victim that was being trafficked. There were at least 6 other people that I know of. And I don't know what their situation is right now. I can't tell you about that, but I know that there were at least 6 other people that were trafficked alongside of me. Some males, some females. And we were being held as presidential sex slaves. Again, being raped by people at high levels of the government, raped by Donald Trump, raped by Melania Trump, and raped by Joe Biden. Joe Biden and Melania proceeded later on to actually buy me, and they were actually some of my main traffickers. But it's continued off and on for a while. I was drugged, like I said, by the National Guard, and I was trafficked to military installations, what I think was military installations. Now, I can't tell you exactly where they were at. I know they were in Arlington. Warehouses, again, I don't know where these are at. I know they were in Arlington, Virginia. The Architect Hotel, the Comfort Inn, one of the Hiltons in Washington, D.C., the Regis, and 3 other hotels. I was trafficked by numerous people in the government, the military. Like I said, I was being groomed to be a presidential sex slave. For those of you who don't know what presidential sex slaves are, they are people that are sold into elite sex trafficking rings. They are forced to perform for presidents, for foreign leaders, for very high-level people in the government and in the military. And that's what I was forced to do. Like I said, Donald raped me, Melania Trump trafficked me, Joe Biden trafficked me. Donald did not traffic me, but he trafficked a lot of people that I know. These 3 people are disgusting human beings. They've done horrible things to people, and they need to be exposed. So over the first experiences I had of this specific time, and like I said, I'm working backwards because there's been other times in my life that things have happened, but I'm specifically talking about the last experience, and then I'm going to go backwards. I was sold and or raped by people such as Greg Abbott. Jennifer Lopez was at some of the parties. Taylor Swift, Katy Perry, Sean Hannity, Jessica Simpson, Kanye, Beyonce, Jay-Z, Nancy Pelosi, Marjorie Taylor Greene, Geraldo Rivera. I was raped, bought, or assaulted by Donald Trump, Joe Biden, Melania Trump, Rudy Giuliani, Taylor Swift, Kanye West, Rita Ora, Marjorie Taylor Greene, Paul Ryan, Charles Cogg, Miley Cyrus, Kristen Stewart, Elon Musk, Cardi B, Mark Esper, and Rick Santorum, countless military and Congress people, and members of the Senate raped me. Like I said, I was sold as a presidential sex slave. Over a couple of different times that this stuff has happened to me, I've been assaulted by the likes of Steve Bannon, Rihanna, Kristen Stewart, Mitch McConnell, Ted Cruz, Tommy Leary, Geraldo Rivera, Janine Pirro, Sean Hannity. I know that Larry Page, Lex Wexler, Chuck Grassley, and people like that made money off of me. These people, those 3 that I know of, they did not rape me that I know of, but they did make money off of selling me. I could tell you some of my experiences. Over a period of 1.5 years, I was trafficked to multiple hotels. I was not always being trafficked. There were times when I was not being trafficked. This was sporadic in between times. I was raped numerous times at gunpoint. I was held hostage. I had Melania Trump especially. She was a psychopath. And she held me hostage, forced people to do horrific things to me. I had things happen to me that I can't even verbalize because it was so traumatic. But I can tell you some of the stuff. I had people put me through torture. It wasn't just sexual abuse, guys. I endured some torture. I'm deathly afraid of spiders, and the cult knows that. So they brought out some spiders. They put them all over my body. They raped me with these spiders on my body, terrifying me, traumatizing me on top of everything else I'd already been through. They put burn marks on my body. They beat me. They put things in me. They raped me with objects. They even raped me with a cross. because I'm a Christian pastor. So they took crosses and they raped me with crosses. And this was mostly Melania. She made a lot of the videos. She was behind a lot of the videos. She made videos of me when I was being raped. And she taped me. She taped me over and over again. And she put the videos on the darknet. These people made money off of selling my body. Not just to rape me and not just to sell me, but they put videos on the darknet. There were 55 forced pornography videos made of me. Sometimes I was by myself, sometimes with other victims. Multiple celebrities and politicians videotaped me, raped me, tortured me, put me through torture that I can't even talk about at the moment because I'm so traumatized. There are things that they put me through that I cannot verbalize because I was so traumatizing, and the sexual assault itself was traumatizing, but some of this stuff is horrific. They raped me orally, they raped me annually, they raped me vaginally in every way possible, and I'm being very graphic here because I want people to know what these monsters are capable of. Joe Biden and Melania eventually bought me, and they thought that they owned me. Joe Biden and Melania made millions of dollars off of raping and torturing me. See, this is not just a party line, guys. We have one Democrat, one Republican, one who was a former president, one who's the current First Lady. The current president of the United States sexually assaulted me several times. His wife videotaped it. There's videotapes of Donald J. Trump raping me, raping other people that were held hostage. We were sold at hotels. We were sold at warehouses, military installations, and we were sold at Congress, at Capitol Hill. That only happened once. And I do think I was taken to the White House, but don't count me on that. I was one time that I was drugged, and it seemed like I was at the White House, but I'm not sure. There was a couple times when I was drugged, and I don't remember exactly where we were at, but I could recognize certain rooms that I've seen in pictures. But don't quote me on that because that part of my memory is kind of foggy because I was really drugged that night. I have videos of Melania Trump pulling a knife on me, holding a knife to my neck, assaulting me with a knife, while various members of Congress and Senate take turns raping me, assaulting me. Different ways, like I said, all different ways imaginable. This is a worldwide network, guys. I'm not the only victim. There are thousands of victims out there. A lot of these victims have ties, especially in the music industry. A lot of these victims have ties with Blackwater, which is a private mercenary group. They thought that it was funny to traffic me. They thought it was funny to take part in the rituals. Like I said, singers such as Rihanna, Taylor Swift, Jessica Simpson, Kanye West, Beyonce, Jay-Z, Rita Ora, those people were all involved in it. They either all raped me, made money off of me, or sold me. Some of those people think are wholesome singers are not. Miley Cyrus, she was involved as well. She made money off of me. Some of these celebrities work for Blackwater. Most of them work for Blackwater, and they were working as Blackwater agents when they assaulted me, when they made money off of me. Greg Abbott, who was the governor of Texas at the time, he trafficked me. He made money off of me. Sorry, this is a really hard topic. Marjorie Taylor Greene was trafficking me. She was assaulting me and also trafficking me and also making money off of me. Lex Ressner, Chuck Grassley, and Larry Page all made money off of selling me and some of my friends, some of the people that I was trafficked alongside of. Mitch McConnell, Kristen Stewart, Steve Bannon, Tommy Lahren, Ted Cruz, Geraldo Rivera, Gene Shapiro, Sean Hannity, either trafficked or assaulted me. I was trafficked by the elite of the elite. When I was taken to these other places, I was forced to perform in ways that I can't even talk about because it was so traumatic. But like I said, I had burns. I was beaten. Was raped with objects, especially a cross, because I'm a Christian. I had people do heinous things, and this was specifically Melania Trump and Joe Biden. They would rape me and make me bleed, and they would cut me in certain parts of my body. And they would drink my blood. Blood drinking's real. It's not a fantasy, guys. This isn't something that you hear in a horror movie. This is real stuff. And I went through torture that I can't even talk about. And maybe I'm never going to be able to talk about it. I don't know. I want to testify. I want to get a chance to get my justice. But I don't know if I could ever verbalize some of the stuff that those people did to me. I was held at gunpoint. I had weapons drawn on me. I had knives pulled on me. I was cut. I was bruised. I wanted to die. Yeah, I wanted to die. And I think that anybody who goes through that level of trauma wants to die. What we need to understand about traffickers and sexual assaulters is that they want to destroy a person. They hate the person. All they're good for to that person is to be used as a sex toy. Joe Biden, especially when he was trafficking me, he used to call me a service dog. Like I said, him and Melania were two of my people that owned me. They thought they bought me out from underneath Eric Prince and the National Guard, and they thought that they owned me and they were making money off of me. They called me a service dog. They would treat me like a dog. They would abuse me. Well, actually, they wouldn't treat me like a dog because dogs deserve to be treated good, but they would treat me like I was not human. They would tell me that I was their sexual service dog, that I wasn't good for anything, that I belonged to them, that my body belonged to them. I was only good for sex. And I started to believe that. See, that's the thing about traffickers, guys. When you're being tortured, you start to believe what they tell you. You start to believe that you're no good. You start to believe that you don't belong. You don't deserve anything. Not only did they violate you sexually, not only did they make money off of you, but they destroy you from the inside out. They take you and they treat you like you're only good for one thing. And they laugh and they think it's so funny. Thought it was so funny. I would cry and I would sit there in a ball crying, my heart breaking, begging them to stop. I'd beg them to stop. I begged all those people to stop. I begged them over and over again. I said, stop, please stop, leave me alone. And they wouldn't do it. All they cared about was lining their bank accounts or satisfying their sexual desires. That's what I dealt with. There's people that I don't even know who molested me sometimes because I was drugged. And some of the people that, like I said earlier, some of the people that I saw, I recognized from television or from social media. But I don't remember who their names are because I was drugged and I was being tortured. But there were multiple Senate people and Congress people involved. I remember some of the names, but I don't remember everybody. They treated me like I was a second-rate citizen when they tortured me and they abused me and they raped me, and it hurt so badly. It hurt. And I want everybody out there to know the names of these people. So I'm going to reread the list. I'm rereading this list. And like I said, there's other people that were on this list, but I'm just going to reread the list that I have in front of me. Eric Prince, Greg Abbott, J-Lo, Taylor Swift, Katy Perry, Sean Hannity, Jessica Simpson, Kanye West, Beyonce, Jay-Z, Nancy Pelosi, Marjorie Taylor Greene, Geraldo Rivera, Donald Trump, Joe Biden, Melania Trump, Rudy Giuliani, Rita Ora, Paul Ryan, Charles Cogg, Miley Cyrus, Kristen Stewart, Elon Musk, Cardi B, Mark Esper, Rick Santorum, Steve Bannon, Rihanna, Kristen Stewart, Mitch McConnell, Ted Cruz, Tommy Lurie, Geraldo Rivera, Janine Pirro, Larry Page, Chuck Grassley, Les Rexner. Remember those names because they were either trafficked me, raped me, or made money off of trafficking me. And like I said, there were a lot of other people. There were countless military people involved, dozens and dozens of military people. There were operatives and CIA agents. There were operatives and Blackwater agents, hundreds of them involved. And then there was countless Congress people and Senate people involved. Multiple people in high-level government, and all the names that I just read you. And like I said, there were other people. But I don't remember every single person's name because I was drugged, I was being tortured, I was being raped. But I believe that in some of those videos, they had a lot of the Congress people and Senate people raping me. So I believe that those videos could take down numerous Congress people and Senate people. And I'm telling you right now, it's not just me that was raped and abused by the Senate and Congress. No. There are hundreds of thousands of people who have been raped and tortured by Senate and Congress. And there's videos to prove it. And I don't remember every single name of everybody that raped me, everybody who bought me, everybody who made money off of me. But the videos remember. The pictures remember. There's people out there who've been raped and abused by the same people that raped and abused me, and they deserve their justice too. We need to stop the worldwide sex trafficking ring. We need to stop coddling abusers and start passionately pursuing justice for victims. Stop coddling abusers just because you like them as a musician or as a politician or as somebody who's in leadership. Stop coddling them. They are guilty of their crimes. If you sell someone for sex and you're not being forced to, if you rape somebody, if you traffic somebody, or you make money trafficking somebody, or you know about this going on and you allow it to happen under your nose, you should be held accountable for crimes against humanity. You ruin lives. This is what I went through. I took last year and a half, 2 years, I've taken so much time trying to heal from this trauma. But I'm a traumatized mess because of what happened to me. And I know there's so many other girls and even guys out there who've gone through the same thing that I've gone through. And I want to be a voice of hope for them, that there is a way that you can stay strong. There is a way you can overcome. We need to band together to expose these pedophiles, band together to expose the traffickers, band together to expose the rapists. Name names, even though it's hard. Have nothing to do with foolish deeds of darkness, but expose them to the light. That's what I want. And I want to pray a prayer as a pastor for every one of those people that hurt me. I want to pray a prayer of salvation for them. Prayer of forgiveness. It's not easy. But I want to pray a prayer of salvation and forgiveness for them. So Jesus, I ask you, Lord Jesus, for each and every person that raped me, everybody who bought me, everybody who assaulted me, everybody, Jesus, that made money off of me, everybody who helped kidnap me and held me hostage, held me at gunpoint, tortured me, made pornography videos of me. I ask you, Jesus, that you would free them. Forgive them, Jesus. Lord, I ask you to give me the grace to forgive them, Jesus. Help me to have a heart to forgive these people that hurt me, Lord, for every single one of them. From those who orchestrated it, from those who made money of it, from those who raped me, and from those who sold me, Lord Jesus, I ask you to give me the grace to forgive them and show them love and mercy and kindness the way that you would. Forgive them, Father, for they know not what they do. I ask you to bring them into your kingdom. In Jesus' name, amen. Please keep fighting to expose the truth about the worldwide sex trafficking ring. There's real victims out there. Numerous victims. We are not just some name that you see in the media, or for me, I haven't gotten public justice, but for those who have gotten public justice, who have had a chance to share their story publicly, they're not just some name in the media, they're a real person. I'm not just some random person sharing my story. I'm a real person. I'm a human being who was tortured. The girls that were the Epstein victims were human beings that were tortured. The guys that were, and girls that were trafficked by Epstein and Donald Trump and Bibi Netanyahu and all these other people, Joe Biden, Melania Trump, Taylor Swift, Beyonce, Jay-Z, Kanye, all these people. We are real people. We are victims of crimes against humanity. We deserve our justice. There are real consequences for your crimes. And if you rape somebody or you traffic them or you make money off of them, you deserve to pay for the crimes you committed. And if you're working with traffickers and you know you're working with traffickers, you deserve to go down for the crimes you committed as well. We are real victims. It hurts every day trying to heal from this. Some days I'm better than others. Some days I'm really bad off. Right now I'm really bad off because I'm sharing these stories with you. But I'm doing this because I want to heal myself, and I'm sharing this to heal myself, but also to give you guys an understanding about what the worldwide sex trafficking is about. And also, if there's anyone out there that watches this anytime who's been raped or abused by the people I've been abused by, you're not alone. Your voice matters. Your story matters. Your testimony matters. What these people did to you does not define you. You are defined by who you are, not by what they did to you. You are stronger than you know. You are braver than you know. You are beautiful. You are loved. You are treasured. You are not just a sex slave. Bad men and bad women sold you. They raped you. They abused you. They used you. But you are not the bad one. You're the victim. I am not the bad one. I'm the victim. And these men and these women that have done these heinous crimes deserve to pay for what they've done to people. And they need to. And it's my prayer every day that they get the justice, that they get justice by being exposed, and we get our justice by these people being exposed, by going to prison, and that we get our justice while the traffickers rot in prison for the rest of their lives. It's the best justice. If you have any questions about anything that I've shared, or you want to know anything else, you can message me here or info@thelandtramps.com. Thank you for listening for my videos. Please pray for me. This is really hard for me to share all these videos, but I want to help somebody out there, hopefully, even if it's just one person.